very wise man once said, "The best laid plans of mice and men are oft to go astray." I think it was Biggie Smalls who said that. But anyway, I had intended to do this a different way, but we're going to do this way now. Welcome back to our little ongoing brick challenge here, I guess, of trying to find out what everybody else's bricks are like these days. And this is ZURU's offering. I've been talking about the ZURU company quite a bit last couple weeks. They seem to have invaded on a lot of Mattel's ground with Lego distribution and with Hot Wheels style cars, fantasy cars. Their product is not terrible either so far. So I've looked at crystal blocks or crystal bricks? Anyway, that was it was so good, it left a huge impression on me. I was actually really impressed with that, and that made the little mech that I made. I had gotten a couple of these sets for use with my grandkids, and we have just been so busy with them doing other stuff lately that these are just sitting. And no offense, kids, I'm sorry, but Papa Fuzz wants to get these out of the way. So what you're looking at here is an egg full of Lego style bricks. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to break this open. I'd like to see how easy this thing is to open, because I'll tell you what, it looks like a Legs egg to me from back in the day. Somebody's going to remember that. Somebody's going to be old enough to remember Legs. And I used to get those eggs for my sister to put stuff in all the time, because my sister used the product. Anyway, enough about my sister's games. Let's open this. These apparently have a little bit of a zip line here. I have not had good results with these ever, so let's see how this one works. I've already sort of started to try to peel it right here, and it's I can see there's a little perforated zip strip, right? But I can never get my damn fingernails under it. Okay. Watch Cameron cut on a curved surface, everybody. This should be amusing. I'm just going to see if I can get this thing started. Once again, I guess I'm glad I'm not necessarily doing this in front of the little ones in case I slit my wrists. Didn't happen because I closed my blade, though. All right. There we go. See? It opens like... cellophane one removed. Got a two-tone egg with another sealant around it. Fairly easily discernible markings where they perforated it again, but I'm telling you, ZURU, your little perforator machine part in your packaging, it's not getting the job done. But thanks to the trusty green blade, there's nothing to worry about. Okay, so the Legs egg opens up to give you a whole bunch of parts in one. one. There's two. 3 packages. It could have all been in one. I don't really see why. Well, that should be foreshadowing of what we've got right there. It's 2 things that say police on it. Police. So I'm going to assume that the one we got here, and like these are all each mystery. There's a thing on the cover which kind of teases all these different kinds, and they kind of all use the same colors too. Because, for instance, I was kind of gambling that this was going to be one of these airplanes or spaceships. This one looks remarkably like a Gundam ship. Anyway, big print instructions for the police car, which is really cute. Let's get her built. Okay, so if you were paying attention on that last segment, this is what we built, was the police car. And I've set it aside for a minute, and I'm going to do the second egg, which looks like it's filled with predominantly red pieces. So it could be any of these. Let's find out what it is. They all come with a direction sheet and a set of stickers, it would seem. And I got a race car. First thing I'm gonna say about these is that the designs are kind of clever, but the second thing I will say is that, as with all of these, they take a little bit of reading through to begin with. I would advise. Always with these things, I find that I'm like skipping a step or finding something primarily that I missed because I'm just jumping right into it. And so read the directions first, kind of read through them before you hand the kit over maybe to your kid, so that you are familiar with the directions. And even then, with the way some of these are constructed, there was a problem with this blue one. So stick around. I'm going to build the red one, this race car thing, and see if I have a similar issue. But by the way, all of these pieces up here, this was all extra. Did not figure into the design of the police car whatsoever. And there may be a couple of pieces there that could have aided in the problem that I found. And it's purely a design issue. So anyway, stick around for that. Gonna build the red one real quick here. Let's throw it in high gear. So what have we learned? We've learned quite a few things today. Building these two kits, actually, to be completely transparent. They were built across 2 days. So I did one kit last night and I did another kit this afternoon. I don't like the packaging. Although your kids may come up with a use for these, there's a ton of plastic you're never going to use right here. The other thing is when I bought these, I was under the impression that each egg came with a bunch of pieces and a few different designs that you could do with each amount of egg. Okay, but when you crack these eggs open, there's only enough for one omelet. It's only enough to sort of make what it actually makes. And I mean, if you combine these kits, you can make other things. It's just that you should know what you're getting into when you buy these. First off, I'm going to talk about something that I talked about in the crystal blocks or crystal bricks, whatever that, the last the last brand that I picked up a $4 pack from, and these were similar, by the way. Found at any box store, and they're next to where the Legos are. Like I said, ZURU is insidiously kind of sliding in right next to all of the different other products that they're trying to compete against that are made by Mattel or Hasbro, you know. So what we're looking at is each kit is sort of a mystery as to what it will build. The color scheme, you can sort of go by a little bit by looking at the designs that are on the outside of the egg, but you're going to eventually find that you didn't get what you were looking for. And in terms of these bricks versus, say, the other $4 type of brick, these are not made quite as well. I'm going to say that you can see the nub point on every piece. Some of them are in glaring places, which again is not a big deal. It's a building brick set. You're really talking about more, do the bricks align and lock together? Yes and no. Do you hear my chair creaking? That's because the creaky old man chair says, not quite. They don't fall apart, but as you saw in a couple of the time lapses, pieces did tend to disassociate, and this is where I come up with the next problem in these kits, is that in the ZURU designs, they are not structurally put together like you would find with a Lego kit. What do I mean by that? I mean that when the designers consider putting out a Lego piece, meaning a Lego set that goes together, the engineers of those things, the imagination people, like, they figure out how these bricks are going to stick together, lock together, and everything is going to support the next pieces being added on. In the case of the police car, which I will show you more up close of, the design failure came when it was using one of these 8x2 bricks for a roof piece that's in here that takes up a fair percentage of the cab space. But, and I'm gonna try to gingerly open this. By the way, the door has always stayed on and has always stayed in one piece, going up and down for several times of my checking on it and doing things like this. But as you can see in there, There is a blue brick below the roof line, but it doesn't go all the way down to the bottom of the van down by the river. So, I mean, you do have a little space in there whereby you could carry some cargo, but then why not use a more flat piece to do the roof? Or at least to get it in there and be structural, because what I had to do was cheat a little bit. I took my blade, which was not extended, and I put it in there like a tongue depressor, and that kept that piece in place so that I could push things down on the roof firmly enough right here to make it actually connect and sort of stick together. It is still, at this point, the most tenuous part of the model, and if I were to, oh my gosh, it's coming apart. If I were to push on the top of the roof, like right here, it would cave in like a baby's skull. There's an image. It would cave in like a Florida sinkhole. That's better. But as my wife says, tell us what you like about the kit. I think that the design is really cute. For all of the failures, it does strike its own figure. It's cute. I like the little cattle guard on the front. I like the emergency lights, which are foldable back against the sides of the car, or you can flip them out during, emergencies. And this little antenna piece on the back here is actually, you can put it in all sorts of, it's like a little hinged piece. So it's almost like a little lever for a trapdoor, if you will. And so you can really kind of get a stylish little jaunt to your antenna. And the windshield piece is decent enough. The axles on these things do not clip into the wheels very well. So the wheels are a little wobbly, but they do stay on. And I really do like the rubber tires. The tires feel really nice, very sort of spongy, grippy, but solid rubber. It's a very, I can see it either becoming like something that a kid would chew on or a dog. So keep it out of the reach of the teething, I would say. But when I was talking about structurally, when they don't build these things correctly, for some odd reason, they wanted to use these two wedge pieces, and it's because it's probably what they make a lot of, to make the chassis out of. And so this split in the middle kept coming apart too, which would make the wheels fall off, and you just don't want that when you're in the middle of a police chase. The other one that I built was out of the red set egg, was an F1 car. Speaking of what I was just looking at on the side there, and maybe you were too, this is a decal right here. It is the bane of the kit's existence. They're a little difficult to get off of the backing that they're on, but they are really nice die cut, and once you get them off of there, off of the little sticker sheet, you can get them onto the plastic pretty well, and they don't look terribly cheesy, at least from a distance. And you get a set of police. The police and the badge were separate applications on both sides, so it's 4 stickers. And this was 3 stickers. It's there was a nose piece sticker there, and 2 little F1 badges on the side, for the side of each side of the car. With this one, I would say a similar issue was that when you were putting it together, some of the pieces were falling apart, but I didn't find as many aggravating or objectionable issues with putting this car together. The police car fell apart a bunch more when I was trying to do it. Also, maybe I hadn't had as much coffee or whatever, but this was a little easier to get right the first time. Maybe that was just me. I have added this one little gray brick in here, which was extra with the set, because it's holding the two pieces of the car together. Again, there's a fairly substantial division down the middle of the model to begin with, and so structurally there's not a lot holding those two sides together. If you were to play with this a whole bunch, it might fall apart on you. The bricks don't satisfyingly clip together as well as, say, Legos or the crystal blocks that I did a couple episodes ago. However, there was really nothing objectionable, and I mean, it's holding together, okay. Especially now that you've got a couple of stickers on it and stuff like that. Same objection with the axles, a little bit flippity, but definitely picking a cat hair off here. Definitely again with the tires, really nice. And incorporating pieces of these into your other building brick sets actually could be a way to accentuate some of your things. I think the tires on these are fantastic. They do have a nice surface on them and side molding and etc. That spoking in there with a little bit of like a dark wash or something inside of that would actually help excuse me, help to bring that out as well. But they do kind of capture the feel of it kind of feels like one of the old Ferrari Marlboro cars from back in the 90s. Michael Schumacher. And the other thing I'm going to say is that they do give you a tremendous amount of extra pieces for the little piece parts, the clear piece parts, and all that. So it's kind of neat. I now have a growing little group of ZURU parts, and the interesting thing too will be to just throw these into the extra parts bag and eventually just use them without knowing if it's a Lego, a ZURU, or a crystal block, or whatever of these different variations that I'm trying. But I think it's important also to try these kits because and get some word out as to their positives and negatives, because the ZURU stuff especially is competitively priced to the Lego stuff. When you're buying it in bulk, when you're buying just regular like a kit of bricks, a starter box or whatever, the price difference is palpable. So as a parent, and in my case, as a grandparent who is going to have this stuff be in demand with a whole bunch of boys coming along, and we do have Legos from the older kids, that we've held and shuffled on down the line. But as always, there's going to be new additions. There's going to be, hey, look at this. So I thought it was kind of important to follow these bricks down the rabbit hole a little bit and see where they go. The ZURU stuff, I'm going to give it a thumbs up enough. The price is great. The packaging sucks. The crystal blocks, much better packaging. It was a cardboard box which didn't have a lot of gloss on it and could be recycled, shredded and recycled, or with some it had like one plastic heat seal bag inside to keep all the pieces in, so that when you open the box, it doesn't just go, hey. And the ZURU are the same way. 2 to 3 bags of part separation No need for it either, by the way. No real step application of, okay, I can open the one bag and keep the other two closed. They were looking for parts from all three, you know, just like Lego. So the separation of parts like that into different heat seal bags doesn't make any sense to me, especially if you're going to put it inside of another plastic, thick-ass plastic egg, PVC egg, and then you're going to heat shrink that twice because there were two zip strips which were not perforated well. So have a cutting device ready to get those open, because not even with the best thumbnails, I'm telling you, not gonna happen. Anyway, those, again, just so that you know, those are called ZURU Max. Okay, they come in these designer eggs, which very much resemble legs from the 70s, if you remember those. I don't know what we'll do with these eggs. I've got 2 of them now, so maybe I'll make them into eyes for a mask. I don't know. Trying to be creative with plastic that's gonna be here forever. Okay. Enough of my ecological commentary. I'm not a hippie. Just play one on the internet. That is the ZURU Max build mores. Moving along, I wanted to just point out sort of one more thing here, and that was about a couple of Matchbox cars that I have picked up recently, and I kind of wanted to talk about the quality of these cars versus what I'm seeing come out of Hot Wheels on a lot of occasions. I am going to open this one as well. This was just it's a Porsche Carrera Cabriolet, which means it's got a rag top. A soft top, but I'm unpackaging this off screen because I don't want to get the cardboard all over my desk and have to swipe it all off. So bear with me for a second here. This this Audi TT that's in front of you right now, getting washed out against the red, and this green Cabriolet are, I believe, what a 99-cent car should sort of should show as far as detail and quality and such. I am going to take the camera off the stand, but I just don't want to get anybody motion sick while you're looking at these two. When you look at these, you notice that the rims are really nice. The paint job is immaculate. The detail to the interior is there, and there are decal applications that wrap around the back. They have the lighting, They have the emergency light. They have the the Carrera across the back end there. And then when you look at the front end, you've got, headlights, and you've got the Porsche badge. The windscreen is immaculate and looks well applied to the vehicle. Sometimes I'll find M2 stuff that looks like it's been glued into place, and that's really weird. And then with this Audi, the TT, look at the wash that they ran across the front grille, okay? And look at the difference that brings out. They don't do that for every ride. And really up close, you can kind of see that it was just kind of whoosh. But as you're looking at this from any sort of a distance with the naked eye, it's just that grille becomes more three-dimensional, okay? And again, excellent rims on there, complementary, very complimentary, and then a very small amount, but they've got the lights are put in, the back badge is done. This is just this little bit of dry brushing across here, and the decals for the lighting make so much of a difference when you're inspecting the quality of like this TT or this Carrera versus versus the Hot Wheels versions of them. I do not understand for the life of me. These companies are both owned by the same people. I mean, when you chase the money upward, it all goes to the same place. So why the discrepancy? And also, I'm going to say that, for folks who are just into Hot Wheels, I can understand it. It's a brand thing. It's something that, you're driven to. The packaging is more expressive and explosive, if you will, with Hot Wheels, versus Matchbox. It's always been sort of a quieter sounding company. But I think that these two cars speak very, very loudly in terms of, Matchbox. So anymore lately, I don't care about treasure hunts, and I know they're bringing a system in for chases and treasure hunts into Matchbox. I just don't care, again. But I do care about the quality of the die-cast that I end up keeping in my collection. As Eddie says, if you've got 5 of those double cases, that's 48 cars per case. The case costs $9-10 now, so that's $50 just in holding on to these cars. I'm going to make sure that the ones that I hold on to are really great representations of what they're meant to be. Whether it's a real car or a fantasy car, I don't really necessarily make a distinction there, but I do make a distinction on finishing the job. And so these are 2 really great cars. Let me give you a flash around these really fast. I've been watching a lot of you out there second. Been talking a lot. I've been watching a lot of your vlogs and commentaries and stuff like that out there, and your comments on our videos here, which are always helpful. So thank you. Please keep them coming. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. Tell us what we can do more of. We'd be happy to hear from any of you and each and every one of you, because you are the ones that are keeping us afloat in this little fantasy world of YouTube. So thank you very much. But I did want to say that I think that, watching some of these other YouTubers that are paring down their stuff, and even I've been on kind of that trip lately too, kind of preaching less as I shift all of my nerdish around, trying to get my office completed and get the video library taken care of better. I want to hang on to the stuff that in my collection. I want to hang on to the real cream of the crop. It's an interactive art piece. This office, a little bit of it is. And I want to make sure that the stuff that I'm keeping in cases, because I do have, as Eddie states, I have 5 of those double-sided cases because they're really good for keeping cars. I've got 5 of them, and I did determine that, if I can't fit what I want to hang on to in terms of my really, really tight quality cars, then I'm going to have to weed things out. I've drawn a limit for die cast that I'm going to keep. And it's going to be good examples of stuff. If you do like what you see, please like and share and subscribe. We'd appreciate it. Thank you. Coming up on the next couple of episodes, I would like to, I've got a new project that I'm going to open up on the bench to build and review. I've got some Hot Wheels here I should kind of show off before I throw in the basket or add to my collection, which will I do. And anyway, until we see you again, thanks very much.